take too long. Sleigh bells playing that familiar song. Oh, I can't wait for Christmas Eve, when underneath my Christmas tree there'll be presents wrapped in ribbons for me. So many gifts my eyes can barely see. Hanging up my mistletoe, it's a wonderland where it starts to snow. Oh, Merry Christmas, I hear Santa call. I said, oh, Merry Christmas, one and all. Children playing with their brand new toys, all the happy little girls and boys. So much joy for all to see. Hey, oh Saint Nick, you know we still believe. Oh, Merry Christmas, I hear Santa call. I said, oh, Merry Christmas, one and all. And the bells are ringing, and the lights are shining, and the church choir singing. I said, oh, Merry Christmas, I hear Santa call. I said, oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, one and all. Merry Christmas, I hear Santa call. I said, oh, Merry Christmas, one and all. Merry Christmas, one and all.
This is an appeal by Boris Johnson on behalf of comedy impressionists. Yes, ever since my demise as your world king, UK Prime Minister, impressionists all across the country have fallen upon hard times. Requests for impressions of the lovable old rogue have fallen fast. The bookings haven't been boisterous. The emails haven't been effervescent. The demand hasn't been a deluge. You get the picture. Yes. Now, many impressionists are now making it hard to make ends meet. After Ant and Dec, it was old Bozza that kept the wolf from the door. Impressions of other prime ministers simply don't come close. To save impressionists from the breadline and to keep me in the gold wallpaper I've become accustomed to, please make a donation now. However small that booking, a corporate event, a satirical series, or even a birthday greeting card, every little helps. Remember, the more impressions of me there are, the smaller the chance of me having to jiggle into the jungle or mount the dance floor there are. And frankly, none of us want that. Yes. Now, save an impressionist now. Make that call now and bring back a bit of Boris in time for Christmas. You know what to do. Thank you. Castigat Aridendo Mores. Huzzah.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Royal Television Society, the RTS Christmas Quiz 2022. Yay! It only seems like a year ago we were all together, doesn't it? And I hope you're all well, hope you're all keeping warm. My name is Darren Altman and I will be your host this evening to test your television knowledge. So this is how it's going to work. This year we've got a theme. It's 100. We're celebrating 100 years of the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, and so all the questions will be about the Beeb. So unfortunately, we'll have no questions on Grampian TV, London Weekend Television. Sorry, Trish, and Anglia. It's all about the Beeb today. Now, there's going to be 3 categories. We're going to educate, entertain, and inform. Yes, we are. So there's going to be 10 questions in the education category, 10 questions on the entertainment category, and 10 questions in the inform category. So what we'd like you to do is interact as much as possible. Please do say hello, write down, do your shout out in the chat box, but please do not write the answers, because a couple of years ago we got into a whole world of pain and trouble with people just sort of simply posting the answers. So do your shout outs and let us know how you're doing, how you think you're doing, how you scored in the rounds, and yeah, keep the chat open, and I'll be checking in on the chat box to see how you're all doing and to see where you're from. So please let me know. Cool. So the way it's going to work, as I said, 3 rounds, 10 questions. We have got some celebrity quiz masters to ask the questions for each round. And to start, there they are. There's Fiona with her trademark test card jacket. There's Tony and Damien, all ready to go with a Christmas jumper and a smile and maybe a glass of port. I don't know. It's not for me to say. So we're going to start off with our first round, and that is inform. And to ask the questions is Damien Ashton Wellman, who is the Royal Television Society, the RTS London Vice Chair. How you doing? Can't hear you, Damien.
Sorry.
Good.
Can you hear me
doing?
now?
Well?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Are you knee deep in snow?
Yeah, it's been going all today and last night. I nearly got stuck in Greenwich the other night.
Oh dear, there could be worse places.
Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I know. It's actually really nice.
Fantastic, good stuff. And how have you? Did we meet last year?
We did, yes, but for the last couple of years, I've been behind the scenes running the social media side of things.
Okay, cool. So I might have got a retweet off of you maybe in the last year or so.
Indeed.
Fantastic. Well, listen, it's lovely to see you again. So you're going to ask a question. Each question, our guests are going to get 30 seconds to answer, and it'll be very clearly when you're ready to answer, because the good old countdown clock will boing, and then we're on to the next one. So when you're ready, should we get the quiz underway?
Indeed. So for my first question, we're going all the way back to the beginning. What was the name of the first radio station broadcast by the BBC in London? Any guesses?
What was the name of the first radio station broadcast by the BBC in London? Don't know. Would it be London Calling? This is London Calling. One of those.
No. Bit before my time.
Slightly. Yeah. That's a good question. So we've already got people in the chat. Carol Keeley is from Dublin in Ireland. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you. Cool. And question number 2.
So, when was Television Centre opened?
When was Television Centre? What's his name? Is it called the Donut or something? The Ring? What's his
I think that's the name. You know, I should know this. I work just around the corner from there.
And I hope that isn't the answer. That's one of the questions. If it's
fingers crossed. Just ignore what we said.
Yeah. When was Television Centre in London opened?
So many great things broadcast from there.
Absolutely. Cool. So question 3, please, Damien.
So who were the first presenters of Top Gear?
Wow.
It's not who you think it is.
No, really? So it wasn't using words
no producers were harmed.
Yeah, exactly. Using words like torque and horsepower. I know nothing about cars. Absolutely nothing.
No, same.
Yeah. Cool. So question number 4, please.
Indeed. So in 2012, the BBC relocated a number of departments to which northern city? So which city did the BBC move a number of departments to in 2012?
I think I know the answer to that one. It's one of yeah, I think I know the answer. Yes. But that'll be it for
It
me.
should be an easy one, I think.
It should be an easy one.
Mhm.
Should be an easy one. Good. And so please do let us know how you're doing, how you think you're doing, right where you are in the chat, so we can do a few hellos while we're going through the questions. And number 5.
So in total, between 1980 and 2021, over 1.6 million was raised from children in need. How much was added to this in this year?
Wow.
You know, it's really impressive cause. They've raised a lot of good money for it.
It's been amazing. I think that was slightly down on last year, if I'm right.
Unfortunately, yeah, but
Yeah.
there is a cost of living crisis, so sort of it makes sense. But they still raise an awful lot of money.
Absolutely. You ever worked on children in need?
I haven't. No.
I once took a bath in baked beans, not for children in need, just because
Just because, yeah.
A Sunday afternoon, yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Damien. And now we're going to throw over to local newsreader for STV in Scotland, Chris Harvey. Hello, Chris.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Nice to see you. And can I just say, way to make me feel underdressed.
I've literally just battled through the ice and snow up here from work. So I came off there at 6:30, drove down, and I think it's about -5 outside, and then skated down the curling rink in which I live and logged on. Finally got on.
Oh, it's
Finally
great.
got on. Delighted to be here, though. Good to see you all, Darren, as well.
Are you all right? You're not sort of like, do you want to take a minute just to sort of gather your thoughts? Or yeah.
Well, I think I'm up to, so it's 6 to 10 in the questions.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Mate, whenever you're ready, Chris.
Excellent. Question number 6. The Great Spaghetti Harvest hoax of April Fool's Day 1957 was perpetrated by which current affairs programme?
That's a good question.
The Great Spaghetti Harvest of April Fool's Day 1957 was perpetrated by which current affairs programme?
Wasn't that the image of all the spaghetti hanging from the trees?
I'd love to say I don't predate this one, but I think everyone saw it through the 70s and 80s. It was the classic April Fool's Day joke.
Brilliant.
But yeah,
brilliant.
exceptionally convincing.
Absolutely. And you used to work in BBC TV and radio, didn't you?
I did indeed. Yeah, I started off in the BBC Radio and then moved down to Yorkshire. Fantastic place, friendliest people in England. I worked there for a few years and segued over from radio into doing a bit of TV, mostly sort of Saturday night tea time match reports. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
So was it the football you used to?
Although it does date me because, yeah, football and rugby league. So I covered Grimsby Town, Scunthorpe United, Hull City when they were at the basement of the English football tiers. Yeah, great great escape season, I think in 1998, 99.
Yeah.
Loads of rugby league. So I used to get across to Workington and St Helens, and we were celebrating, if I recall correctly, the 75th anniversary when I first joined the BBC back in 1997.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Great. So you're the one to go to for all the goss then, clearly.
I don't know, though. I don't know. I mean, there's a few people. I don't know if anyone watches football now, but there's a very senior BBC sports reporter, the sports editor, in fact, Dan Rowan.
Yes.
And he came and did his work, his trainee placement under my wing at BBC Radio Humberside back in the day. But he's
Wow.
done very, very well, and I take all of the credit.
Well, I've just seen him. Was in Qatar doing all the reports, wasn't he?
Yeah, still there. His tan's getting deeper by the day, I think.
Fantastic. Question 7, please, Chris.
Yes, indeed. Question 7. Other than the Beeb, the BBC is also known affectionately by what nickname? Other than the Beeb, the BBC is also known affectionately by what nickname?
Okay, think I've got that one. Jane Devlin
That's a
has
good one.
joined us, and I remember Jane. She is a regular on the RTS quiz. Hello from 2 Kingswood alumni, Jane and Bruce Devlin in Chiddingfold. Where's Chiddingfold, Jane? Need to know where that is. Cool. So we move on to question 8.
Question 8. Oh, I like this one. What was the name of the world's first teletext information service and a forerunner to the current BBC Red Button service?
Yes, I
What
remember.
was the name of the world's first teletext information service? Oh, absolutely.
I can tell you the BBC and ITV's version, yeah. And the Channel 4 one used to have a quiz called Bamboozle, yeah, with an all pixelated guy and he would
Yes.
multiple questions, yeah.
That was a classic quiz. I think you would come back. I remember watching the football scores on the teletext services, and if you missed it, you had to wait about 15 minutes for all the pages to come round.
That's right, yeah. Oh, how far we've come. So Jane is in Chiddingfold, which is in Surrey. That's good. So what, are you down the A3? Are you, I know Surrey, down the A3, somewhere like that, Jane. Good stuff. So your next question, please, Chris.
Yes, our next question. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a trickier one, I think, this. Who was appointed CEO of BBC News and Current Affairs in 2022? So this year, who was appointed CEO, Chief Executive Officer of BBC News and Current Affairs?
I'm not sure I know that one. BBC News and Current Affairs.
No, this will sort out the aficionados from the amateurs.
Absolutely. So Jane says we met at the
It's not my wife anyway.
Oh, Jane says we met at the research development and we were getting all the answers right. Maybe. Yeah. Well, like I said, keep them to yourselves and we'll top them up afterwards, but please don't write the answer in the chat because we got into a world of pain a couple of years ago. It all went horribly wrong.
Good. Right, give me this 1 second. So we'll go into number 10. Oh, I've been kicked out. Oh, maybe not. Here we are. In 1995, more than 22 million people tuned into a special BBC interview with Princess Diana. Which journalist conducted the interview? In 1995, more than 22 million people tuned into a special BBC interview with Princess Diana. Which journalist conducted the interview?
Yes. I know that one, and it's all coming back now, isn't it? What with Harry and Meghan and all of that. It's all full circle with all of that. He's gone. Some lovely pictures of snowflakes. So yes, in 1995, more than 22 million people turned into a special BBC interview with Princess Diana. Which journalist conducted the interview? Now, Chris has gone, and I don't have the answer, so I'm wondering if Damien has got the answers. I'm hoping. Right, for those playing along, obviously write down and mark off your answers. Were you wrong? Were you right?
Mhm.
Carol Keeley says no sound here. I think we're all right. I can hear you.
I think, yeah, it seems to be going okay.
Carol, just give the side of your computer a bang. Question number 3, please.
So, who were the first presenters of Top Gear? It was Angela Rippon and Tom Coyne.
You're kidding me. Really?
So, before Top Gear was reinvented as a sort of adventure series, it was a consumer news and affairs program presented since 1977.
Is that your knowledge, your expert
Yeah,
knowledge? Or have
yeah,
you...
that's my
Wow,
knowledge. Yeah.
amazing. Oh, wow. Angela Rippon. Wow.
Mm.
Cool, cool.
And so, for question number 4, in which city were the BBC departments relocated in 2012? That was Salford in Manchester.
Right, there you go, Salford. And now it's Media City, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah. Hmm.
Good, good. A load of independent production houses there as well.
And lots of studio space as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Good, good.
So, for Children in Need, how much did they add in 2022? The answer to that is 35 million.
Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
impressive figures.
Yeah, and like you say, with the cost of living crisis and everything
Mm.
going on at the moment, that's incredible.
But that money will go to a number of really good causes.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Here we go. What question was that then? So that was
That
question...
was 5. It's
That
perfect
was
on
5.
time.
Lovely, Damien. Thank you so much. Here's Chris.
Perfect timing.
This
I
is
really
going...
thought I was going to get away with it. My battery light in the laptop started blinking. I thought, no, I'll just get that. I'll just sneak the cable in and no one will notice. And it just went kapow. So apologies.
Chris,
This
before
would never
we
happen
go
at the BBC, clearly.
Chris, before we go on to question 6, please can you give Karen the answers to number 1 and 2 again? I think we had a problem with the sound. Can you just do 1 and 2 again for me, please?
Absolutely. So the question 1 and 2. Question 1, what was the name of the first radio station broadcast by the BBC in London? And it was 2LO. The name of the first radio station broadcast by the BBC in London was 2LO.
Cool,
And
cool.
question number 2 was what was Television Centre in when was Television Centre in London opened more recently than you think? The 29th of June, 1960.
Fantastic. So unless anyone's got any major issues, if we could go to the answer to number 6, please, Chris.
Yeah, question number 6. I think, as we were talking about before, I think everyone under the age of, or over the age, I should say, of probably about 30 remembers this one. And of course, the answer to the great spaghetti hoax of 1957. Which program was it? Panorama.
I was going to
Quite
say it's
brave
either...
as well of a very serious current affairs program to do that.
Absolutely. I was going to say it's either Panorama or Horizon. Was Horizon BBC or not? Was that...
I think Horizon. Oh, yeah, no, Horizon was BBC. I think World in Action was ITV.
There you go. There
World
you
in
go.
Action.
Cool.
Absolutely. Question number 7. Other than the Beeb, the BBC is also known affectionately by what nickname? And of course, it is Auntie Beeb.
And you have to say that in your Terry Wogan voice, Chris.
Oh, I don't know if I can do a pastiche Irish bro, but yes, Auntie Beeb. He's very good. Bring back points of view. Terry Wogan, bless him. I used to work as a ski instructor back in the day, back in the early
Wow.
90s. And Terry quite liked, I don't know if he liked skiing, but he liked the environment of a ski resort. And I didn't recognize him, but 2 of the people I was working with and walking along this kind of snowy street spotted Terry, and he was wearing a full-length white fur coat with a very bushy, almost like a sort of Russian-style fur hat.
Wow.
And very bravely, one of the young girls which I was with just shouted over, "Beautiful syrup of figs, Terry. Beautiful syrup of figs." And I had no idea what they were talking about. They had to explain it. So
You do
Terry,
now.
bless him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. TV institution he was.
Fantastic.
Good to see they've rebooted Blankety Blank. It's not a patch on the original though. Question number 8, and probably my favourite of all of these one. What was the name of the world's first teletext information service and a forerunner to the current BBC Red Button service? And of course, it was CFAX.
There you go. We'll have to Google what that means, where they got that from.
Yeah, CFAX. So I don't know if it was because it was the C from BBC.
Ah, yeah. I wonder if...
So maybe. And obviously it worked because you were seeing facts.
Ah, hold on.
Screen.
It's a pun on seeing facts.
Yes.
Seeing facts. There you go. Clever.
And Dan, can you remember what was the strapline for the ITV version?
Well, I know it was Oracle, but I don't know what the strapline was.
Page the Oracle.
There you go. Very good. Very good, Chris. Page the Oracle.
Fantastic. Page the Oracle. Right, I've got two tricky ones to finish. Well, one tricky one to finish. Who was appointed CEO of the BBC News and Current Affairs this year? And the answer is Deborah Turnes.
Wow, if you got that, I will be pretty impressed. If anyone got that, could you let us know in the chat? I mean, genuinely got that. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Do you know what? My wife works in BBC News and Current Affairs, and I don't know if she would have got it. I'm going to ask her when I get through to the kitchen.
There you go.
So he's the CEO. And this one, I mean, everyone remembers this, but obviously everyone remembers it because they tuned in. 22 million people tuning in to a special BBC interview with Princess Diana in 1995. Who conducted the interview? And the answer is Martin Bashir.
Of course. There you go. Did he do the Michael Jackson one as well? Who did the Michael Jackson one? I think that was him, wasn't it?
He did indeed do the Michael Jackson one.
Right.
He did indeed do the Michael Jackson one. And I think, was there not something, not iffy, but certainly there were complaints made, I think, by the Spencer family, which were upheld recently.
Oh, right. Wow. Interesting.
So,
listen, thank you so much, Chris, for rushing back, for braving.
Thank you for having me.
And ice. It's been wonderful. Thank you. We've laughed. It's been emotional. We've cried. It's been a lot of fun.
I'll wait to catch up with the news on page 101 now.
There you go. Wonderful. So there he goes. There's Chris Harvey. Thank you so much. Newsreader, STV Scotland. Used to work in BBC TV and radio. So there you go. That was your first 10 questions. That was the inform section of the quiz. Please do let me know how you're going. How many did you get right out of 10? Please do let me know in the comment section and we will give you a shout out. And now we go to the educate section, 10 questions, and she's back. She has got her suit out the dry cleaners, her jacket. It's Fiona Thompson, RTS Yorkshire committee member and academy.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm
all right.
How are you?
It's good to see you.
You don't look a day over than when you were in 2021.
Oh, you flatterer. Neither do you.
So are you in Leeds? Was it Leeds your base?
Well, RTS Yorkshire is based across the whole of Yorkshire, but I'm just outside Bradford in a place called Saltaire, a World Heritage Site.
Oh, lovely. And how is it up there?
It's very cold, and we've had a slight sprinkling of snow, but it's just very, very cold. But not as cold as Chris. Obviously, the further north you go, it's getting colder, isn't it?
There you go. And did you get dumped on, though, like last night with all the snow that we had down here?
No, passed us by.
Wow. Well, listen, it's lovely to see you. You're looking you've made the effort. That's what we love, Fiona.
And this, you see, all to go along with the idea of being an educator, you see.
Unbelievable. Listen, we salute you. And is it possible that we could get question? Oh, so Carol Keeley got 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. So I think that it's time to go to the back of the room, Carol, and just have a think about what you've done, and maybe try and up the game for this round. Cool. Okay, Fiona, here we go with question 1 for the educate section of our quiz.
Carol, you might find this a bit easier. Starting off with one that's local to me and very important to me, Gentleman Jack, starring Suran Jones, is about which historical Yorkshire figure? So Gentleman Jack, starring Suran Jones, is about which historical Yorkshire figure? Or histocial, as we've written there.
Histocial?
Yeah, it's a new word. It's like, what was the new word that came out last week? The Oxford English Dictionary came out with? I don't know what it was.
That's not a typo. Is histocial the word?
No,
is it?
It's a typo.
Oh right, I prefer histocial. Oh, it's been corrected now. There you go.
Yeah, it's historical. Thanks, Phil.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
I probably have to take responsibility for that. I probably typed it into the spreadsheet. Right. Number 2 of this round is in 1979, David Attenborough appears on our screens for the first in a number of landmark natural history series. What was the original series called? So in 1979, what was that series called?
And that's David Attenborough and not David Attenborough, as
David Attenborough. Yeah.
We're doing well. In 1979, David Attenborough appears on our screens with the first in a series of landmark natural history series. What were they called? David Attenborough.
In the room. Mikey was in the room.
More like David Bellamy. No, I won't go there.
Oh, yeah. That's ITV, isn't it, David Bellamy, I think?
Yeah.
So, in which drama series did Ant and Dec get their first TV break? So, in which drama series did Ant and Dec get their first TV break?
Cool. And I think you should be.
Little did we know what was going to happen with Ant and Dec.
And you should know the answer because they reference it in every bleeding link they do. So,
did you watch I'm a Celebrity?
Do you know what? I've got to admit, Fiona, and I'm not embarrassed. I watched the whole lot, the whole run.
Yeah, me too.
It was good fun. Yeah.
Okay, question number 14. I think this should be. Designed and built by Acorn Computers in the 1980s for the BBC Computer Literacy Project, what was the name of the computer the public could buy? So, designed and built by Acorn Computers in the 1980s for the BBC Computer Literacy Project, what was the name of the computer the public could buy? And loads of people had them, and I was so jealous.
I think I had the. Oh no, I'm not allowed to say just in case I give the answer away. Yes, I had one of those early ones. I remember the ZX81, no color, no sound, brilliant. Those were the days.
Were they the ones where you used to have to put a little micro cassette in or something as the program? The program.
Yeah. And you used to write 10 print Darren, 20 go to 10, and it used to write Darren down the screen.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wonderful days. Okay, question number 15, I think this is. Lucy Worsley is now a regular presenter for the BBC, but what is her day job? So Lucy Worsley is now a regular presenter for the BBC, but what is her day job? Her series on Agatha Christie on BBC Two, I think, has just gone out. Superb, and the book is excellent. Just a good historian who I think makes history accessible to us. But she's quite light-hearted about it as well when she needs to be.
Great.
Good.
So she's got that's an interesting one. I look forward to hearing the answer for that. By the way, we've got to say congratulations to Mr. Editor. The Garner family scored 5 out of 10 in the last word, which is pretty good going in the last round. Absolutely.
That's excellent. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
So, question 16. Who was the longest running host of the series The Sky at Night? So who's the longest running host of the series The Sky at Night?
Absolutely. Yes. I won't. Yes. Won't give the game away.
Maybe later.
Maybe later. Maybe we can trot that one later. Good. And let us know how you're doing. As I said, let us know where you're playing from. Please in the chat. Don't give the answers away.
It's got to actually be one of the longest running programs as well, hasn't it? The Sky at
I think
Night.
it was. It got the record. I'm sure it had the record for the world's longest running series.
Yeah. Okay, question number 17. Hope I can say this right. Which children's TV series had the character saying, "eh-oh," which led to criticisms from some educationalists as they didn't use real words? So which children's TV series had the character saying, "eh-oh," which led to criticisms from some educationalists because they didn't use real words?
Interesting. I think I know the answer to this. There was one a few years ago, which I used to watch on CBeebies when my youngest was growing up and my oldest was growing up, and they were talking in sort of like baby speak, and all the sort of verbs and nouns were all jumbled up, and it used to bug me. And I thought, you got little kids here, like surely. But I mean, I suppose they thought it was cute and cuddly, and
Yeah, well, look, the children's programs I grew up, you had, the flower pot men. They
Yeah.
they didn't always speak, did they?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think we trust the experts. They know what they're doing. So,
Yeah.
still on children's programs here. Question number 18. Blue Peter is the longest running children's program in the world. Now, in which year did it first grace our screens? So, Blue Peter is the longest running children's program in the world. But in which year did it first grace our screens?
Interesting. Wonder who the first presenters were when it first aired. I can't think. It wasn't Get Down Shit. Wasn't Notes.
No. I'm trying to remember. Somebody will know in the who's playing tonight. They'll let us know.
Absolutely. Jane Devlin got 4 out of 10. Not bad. Not good, but not bad. Not bad, Jane.
Oh, it's really good. I was just having a look to see if I could see who were the first presenters of Blue Peter, but I can't find it. Question number 19. What is the connection between Doctor Who and MasterChef, the professionals? So what's the connection between Doctor Who and MasterChef, the professionals?
Oh, that's a good question.
Quite a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to think of the music, but it's not the music. Oh, that's a good one. I look forward to hearing the answer about that. Here's a question for you. Did you know, this isn't the BBC, bit of trivia. A BBC and an ITV program shared the same theme tune. Do you know what they were?
No. Go on, hit me with that one.
I've forgotten the name. It has got a name. It was composed by Alan Hawkshaw, and it was Grange Hill and Give Us a Clue.
Oh, really?
Dong 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 da 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 da. Yeah, Give Us a Clue and Grange Hill. The Something Man, it was called. The Something Man. Someone will write in the chat.
Yeah, they will.
There you go.
Okay. Question number 10, final one from me. Well, question number 20, isn't it? What was the telephone number for the Saturday morning TV show Multicoloured Swap Shop?
Do you know something? I think that just popped into my head. I think I know the answer to that. Oh my word, isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Just wow.
We'll test you on it later. The telephone number for the morning TV show Multicoloured Swap Shop. What is it? Time to test Darren later.
Yeah, let me write it down just to make sure that I'm not. Cool. So there you go. So that was your 10 questions on the educate portion
Yep.
of our quiz. Chris Tracy, Leela Williams? Or
Yes. Tracy, wasn't it? Yes.
is that the answer to the first presenters of Blue Peter?
It is, yes, I think that's right. Christopher Tracy and Leela Williams, yes.
Chicken Man was Grain Chill theme tune. There you go. There you go.
Good. Somebody's
There
on the
you go.
button. Either Phil or
Someone is-
Dave doing that.
Someone's
That's
on
great.
the button. So, Fiona, could we get the answers, please?
We certainly can. Suran Jones, of course, she played the historical Yorkshire figure of Anne Lister. And there's a big campaign going on at the moment because HBO pulled out of the partnership with the BBC. And I know that Lookout Point and Sally Wainwright are looking for new partners. But there's a huge international campaign taking place now, which led even to people paying for a billboard in Times Square to get Gentleman Jack back on the screens.
Wow.
Massive big campaign. Had quite an impact. So, in 1979, the first of those series that David Attenborough has presented so well for many, many years was called Life on Earth. That was the first
Absolutely.
one.
Life on Earth.
Which drama series did Ant and Dec get their first TV break? Of course, it was Like a Grove.
Like a Grove. That's right.
Like a Grove. Now, how many people had that BBC computer that was known as a BBC Micro?
Yes. I had a BBC B.
You had a BBC B.
Yeah. It's good fun.
So the fantastic Lucy Worsley, her day job is she's chief curator at historic royal palaces. If you follow her on Twitter, she posts pictures of where she works, usually at Hampton Court. She's a chief curator at historic royal palaces.
There you go. Never knew that. That's good. Good. Chief curator.
Darren, it's your turn now. Who was the longest running host of the series The Sky at Night?
I think it was Patrick Moore, wasn't it? Was it Patrick Moore?
It was indeed Patrick Moore.
Yes. And here we have Jupiter and Uranus and all that sort of stuff. Yes.
Fantastic.
You want John Coleshaw? He's your man for all of that.
No, that's spot on. Children's TV series had the characters saying "eh-oh" was, of course, Teletubbies.
Yeah. Sold all around the world because they didn't speak, so you no need to translate it or do anything like that. It just was what it was.
Brilliant. Similar to this will go all around the world as well, probably for the same reason.
I mean, there will be literally tens of people watching this all over the world.
Yeah. So Blue Peter first graced our screens in 1958.
Oh,
16th October 1958.
I was going to say 57. So in the words of the great Ken Bruce, I was 1 year out.
Yeah, we'll get you a T-shirt one day, maybe. Yeah. No, well done if you got that one. Now, what is the connection between Doctor Who and MasterChef The Professionals? John Pertwee was the third Doctor Who, and his son,
Sean Pertwee narrates it.
Provides the voiceover for MasterChef The Professionals.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Should have known that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I've got... Sorry.
And you get a bonus point if you can. This is just for my who narrates MasterChef, not The Professionals.
Don't know. Got me there.
India Fisher. Is it India Fisher, the lady?
All right.
Yeah, yeah, with a lovely voice, talking about jus and all of that. Wonderful.
Here's as this is the educate section, I've got an interesting fact about Doctor Who, which was that its original remit was as an educational program using time travel as a means to explore scientific ideas and famous moments in history. And there we
Ah.
go. And it still does that. Still does
Mm.
that. There we go. Good. So, final question. Your starter for 10 here. Darren, what was the telephone number for Saturday morning TV show Multicoloured Swap Shop? See if you can remember it.
Well, I've just realised that the number that flashed into my head was not that. It
Ah.
was the number of Capital Radio in London during the 70s and 80s. So I got all excited, and it wasn't. And then I don't know why it flashed into my head. 48455255 was the number for Capital Radio, and I don't know the number for this. It'll be
Right.
an 01. It'll be an 01 number.
It's an 01 number, and I bet lots of people have got it. It's 01 811 8055.
55. There you go. Isn't it amazing how you can just from the back of nowhere? 80180. Was it? Say that again, Fiona.
It's 01 811 8055. So 01 811 8055.
That's a good question. Thank you so much.
Thank
A lot
you.
of fun, as it always is.
Take care.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you ever so much, Fiona. We'll see you shortly. But there she goes, Fiona Thompson, RTS Yorkshire committee member, ex-BBC as well. So there you go. That was round 3. We've been informed, and indeed we have been educated. So please do type in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where you are. That was, I would endeavour to say, slightly easier than the first round, I think. But that's just me. A few nice questions in there. So while people are writing down in the chat and maybe just having a sip of port, seeing as it's Christmas, that reminds me, I must buy a bottle of port. And some cheese, because you can't drink port on its own, so you need cheese, and then you need some crackers. And great, once you start buying it, it just goes out, it gets out of hand, really, doesn't it? So I'd like to say hello to the last guest quizmaster, the Royal Television Society East Secretary, Tony Campbell. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Darren. How are you this year?
I'm well. You've got a really pin sharp, crystal clear image, by the way.
Have I? Thank you. That's very kind of you to notice. And I've also come dressed as the most festive of animals, the sheep. So
it's good that we've made the effort. I mean, you look at Fiona. You know, you got Fiona with her test card, her hat. You got the Christmas tree backdrop, and there's just me to bang on a jumper, and away you go.
Yeah, I also last year, if you remember, you made me show my test card socks by putting the leg up on the desk. Now I'm getting on a bit, so I just thought it was much easier to show them to you this way.
Brilliant,
So,
absolutely fantastic.
Test card socks done.
So how have you been? How's life as the RTS East Secretary? Is everything good?
Yeah, it's been really good here. And we've had a lovely day today. I mean, these people that are talking about the snow and everything, here in East Anglia, we've had a really bright sunny day, missed all the snow. So, that's been fab, really good. So,
Right.
so yeah, all good.
Are you expecting some over the next day or two?
No, don't think so. I think it's clear.
Cool. Well, listen, you should get your sleigh, come down to London. Job done. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
So while we're just waiting for people to get sorted, Jane got 7 out of 10. Nice one, Jane, in that last run.
Well
Fantastic.
done, Jane.
Really good. Carol improved. She got 3 out of 10. I've been informed. Loving Fiona's jacket. Exactly. We all love Fiona's jacket. So well done, Carol. And you got 10 questions for us, Tony, haven't you?
I have. I don't think these are too bad, actually. There's a couple of stinkers in there, but I think most of you are going to be all right.
Amazing.
So, do you want the first one?
When you're ready. Lovely.
All right. Okay. Let me just get myself ready. Okay. Here we go. Right. In about what time is it now? In about 25 minutes, Strictly starts, and it's the results of the semi-final. So we'll find out who's in the final straight after this program. So here's a question for you. Which professional dancer has won the most times on Strictly Come Dancing? There we are.
Wow.
Which professional dancer has won the most times on Strictly Come Dancing?
I don't think I've seen an episode of Strictly. Maybe about 10 years ago when Bruce was doing it, but yeah.
So there's no point me asking who you're rooting for this year then.
I'm probably going to be rooting for the yeah, you know the celebrity that they've got in to do the dancing.
Oh yeah,
I'll
one of
probably
them.
vote for him or her.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like the way you think. Okay. My second question. So this must be number 22? Yeah. 22. Yeah. Which BBC One drama recently returned for a second series starring Holiday Granger as DCI Rachel Carey?
Right. Okay.
That's a tricky one, perhaps, if you haven't seen it. And
No.
of course, she's back in Strike, which started again yesterday and again is on tonight as well. Actually,
Right.
The one of the leads in Strike, which was written by J.K. Rowling under the name of Robert Galbraith.
Oh wow. And this is just your television knowledge.
Yeah, I tend to read what's on the screen in front of me, which is kind of what I'm doing now. So, and it says most of that stuff.
Just take all the credit, Tony. Don't give the game away. Just say, yeah, it's all in there. It's all in there.
Yeah. Okay. The third question. This is an easy one. You'll all get this. I'm sure you will. Name Casualty's longest-serving character. Name Casualty's longest-serving character.
I like that. It always starts with like a sort of kid playing on a speedboat or on a swing going too high, in the first two. Yeah.
You're always looking at it thinking, what could possibly go wrong, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Old lady takes the dog for a walk. Piano drops on her head. There's your episode.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this week's was really good. It was the improvised one. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they improvised it. So it was sort of like following the ambulance crews through a few days, but they just improvised all the dialogue, which I think is really cool.
Wow, how did it turn out? Was it good?
It was good, yeah. It's a bit like this show, completely improvised. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, puts head down at keyboard, looks up, smiles, asks for the next question. Absolutely.
Okay, so I should deliver that next question to you. What is the main pub called in Peaky Blinders where the Shelbys meet? So what's the pub where the Shelbys meet in Peaky Blinders? I think Phil's giving you a few extra seconds on this one.
I am currently 0 for 4 in this round. I don't have a clue. 0 for 4.
I have to say I haven't seen this, but again, written by Stephen Knight, this one, Midlands legend Stephen Knight, who also did SAS Rogue Heroes. Did you see that one? If you didn't, well worth a watch. Absolutely fab. Really good.
Fantastic. No, I'm not. I never got into Peaky Blinders. I know people absolutely raved about it and said how amazing it was, but no.
No, I haven't either. But what was the pub called? All right. So now this question's a little bit tricky. How many times has the UK hosted the Eurovision Song Contest? How many times has the UK hosted the Eurovision Song Contest? I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue here. This year, we're hosting it, or next year, I should say, 2023, we're hosting it for Ukraine for obvious reasons. They won it last year. Can't do it this year, so we're hosting it for them. It's actually being held in Liverpool next year.
Yes.
So factor that into your thinking when you're answering this question.
Yes.
How many times have you left?
Good stuff.
Okay.
And we are on to 26.
26. Right. So, who was the first RuPaul Drag Race UK superstar? Who was the first RuPaul Drag Race superstar in the UK?
Wow.
So, what do you have a drag name at all,
I
Darren?
don't. But I tell you what, I got to do in the summer. I got contacted by ITV to teach Adam Woodyat how to sing. This is bizarre. How to sing "Total Eclipse of My Heart" in various celebrity impressions while he was in full drag for that ITV thing called, was it Queen for a Day, Queen for a Night? It was like celebrities in drag, and they all had a party piece. So I got to meet Adam Woodyat, and he was in high heels, and we were doing singing. It was like a trip or something. It was like, and he was singing "Total Eclipse of My Heart," all in celebrity impressions, all dressed up, very bizarre. And I've forgotten what his drag name was, but he thought of one instantly. He went, "Oh yeah, it's got to be this," but I don't know what mine would be. Darren, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Mine, I think, tonight would have to be Shauna Sheep, wouldn't it?
Sure.
That work?
There you go.
Shauna Sheep.
Very good.
Okay, that's enough of that nonsense. Right, the next question, more radio than TV, but who was the first breakfast show presenter on Radio 1? Who was the first breakfast show presenter on BBC Radio 1?
Well, I know who the first DJ that opened it was, that famously played the move "Flowers in the Rain," but I don't know if they were the breakfast host or not. But that would be my guess. Yeah, I think that's who I'd go for.
Okay, and you know who that is?
I do know who that is, but I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Someone's just posted in the chat, "What do you think Darren's drag name should be?" Yeah, probably delete that, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay, now let's move on quickly, shall we? On to the next one.
Please.
Totally forget about that. Which BBC TV show recorded the largest audience for a single episode with over 30 million viewers? Which BBC TV show recorded the largest audience for a single episode with over 30 million viewers?
That's a great one. That's a really good question. I'm going to guess it might have been a Christmas special or something like that. If you think before, maybe in the 70s or 80s, maybe a Christmas special, I would guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't get those sort of numbers now, would you?
Absolutely not. No. Good question. Yeah,
I can't take credit for. I didn't write that one.
Okay. Okay. Good question.
Again, I should have just taken the credit for it, shouldn't I?
Should have done. You should have done. You're doing yourself a disservice, Tony. Just lie. No one knows.
Take these opportunities when they come.
Absolutely.
Okay, now this is a good question. If anybody knows this, I'll be really impressed, I have to say. What was the name of the BBC's all-powerful computer system which ran news subtitles in the documentary in the comedy W1A? So,
Wow.
What was the name of the BBC's all-powerful computer system which ran news subtitles in the comedy W1A?
I don't even remember seeing that. Do you remember that program?
Absolutely. It was almost a documentary on the BBC. I worked for the BBC for a long time, many years, and it was a send up, really, but it was a bit close to the actual truth. If I'm honest.
Wow.
It was excellent, very good. I think most people in the BBC would recognise elements of the BBC from W1A.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, I'll look that up. Brilliant.
It is really good. Did you see the what was it called? What was the one called about the delivery of the Olympics, the 2012 Olympics? That was
Oh,
a
was there?
forerunner to it.
Wow, was it a spoof of that? Was it?
It was a like a continuation of that, but in a different setting.
Oh,
I can't remember what
fantastic!
that was called.
No. Maybe
Jessica
Trish. If Trish Bertram's in the room, she might know. My friend Trish, who was famously the
2012, of course
live.
it was 2012.
There you go. The
I
live
even
announcer
said,
Trish of the closing ceremony of the London Olympics. So only a few billion people listening to her voice.
mm,
No
it was,
pressure
I've got the DVD.
of the closing ceremony.
Well, the whole thing, yeah.
The whole thing. Well, that's Trish on the end. Great voice. And used to do
It was
continuity
brilliant.
for
Well done,
LWT.
Trish.
Oh yeah. Cool. So this is I think this is the final question, is it?
It is. It is the final question. The reason I'm doing that is because I've printed this out incredibly small for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. So, the final question. Which 1980s US show was so popular in the UK that the BBC paid to keep it going 4 more years after America's NBC cancelled it? So, which 80s US show was so popular in the UK that the BBC paid to keep it going for 4 more years after America's NBC cancelled it?
That's a good question. See, only ITV programs spring to mind. I'm just trying to think what 80s show was on the BBC, American.
There were a few, weren't there? I didn't actually know this, and I guess it's a little bit similar to what Channel 5 did with Neighbours, isn't it? You know, you sort of kept it
Right.
going.
Oh, okay. Yes. And then it's been cancelled, and now it's going to be brought back on Amazon. I read the other day.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
it. One of
didn't
the
last long,
streaming.
did it?
No. Well, I mean, imagine that being cancelled and then brought back within a couple of months.
I know. Unbelievable. I
Mm.
bet Toadfishes and Paul Robinson are.
I've actually been to Ramsey Street.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Wow. What's
It's
it
a
like?
real road. It's a real road in Melbourne. It's not called Ramsey Street, but it's a real road that they do all the exteriors in. It's really cool.
And people live there. Like it's a
They do,
residential.
yeah.
So they're just
Yeah.
bombarded constantly with tourists.
Yeah,
That must be a nightmare.
it must.
God. Right. That said, you're about to give the answers out. Please do let us know how you're doing. Let us know where you're playing. If you haven't said hello, please do in the chat, and we will carry on with the answers then to the entertain round. Here we go.
Okay, so question number 1 or question number 21. Which professional dancer has won the most times on Strictly Come Dancing? And the answer is Oti Mabuse.
There you go. Just the 2 times. Oti Mabuse. Is she a judge now? Is that right?
Not on that show. No, her sister is. Motsi is.
Right.
Oti Mabuse has been on some other shows on that other network that we're not talking about tonight.
No.
Mustn't talk about that.
Good stuff.
Next one. Which BBC One drama recently returned for a second series starring Holiday Granger as DCI Rachel Carey? And the answer is The Capture. Did you see that at all, Darren?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
It's about deep fake video.
Right, amazing.
So, in fact, I'm using the technology now. I actually am a sheep, but I just appear to be human.
Very good. I've done a couple of deep fake things. Once I had to go into a studio and do a Boris Johnson, and they filmed me and obviously recorded my voice. But the only thing they wanted was that portion of my mouth, and the rest of it was completely Boris Johnson. But the only thing they wanted was that, and the results were. I mean, this bearing in mind this was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was Boris Johnson endorsing Jeremy Corbyn to be the next Prime Minister. But the result, I mean, 3 years on, it would probably be even better. But the results were staggering. Really, really unbelievable.
So can we trust what we see anymore?
I think the answer is no, really. No, we can't. Yeah.
That's the premise of The Capture. It's well worth a watch, I have to say. Very good.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right, question 3, easy one. Everyone's got this, I'm sure. Name Casualty's longest serving character was the question. And the answer is Charlie Fairhead.
Oh, yes. I know
Had
who
to
he
be,
is.
didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Charlie Fairhead. There you go. Carol says she's also been to Ramsey Street, Tony.
Yeah, it's great. It is good fun. Yeah, you get to stand with a pole that says, with the Ramsey Street on it, and they take a picture of you.
Amazing.
And when we did it, they have an ex-actor sort of come and talk to you and show you, that's so and so's house and that one's so and so's house. And we had the guy that played Stingray, who was
Oh, my word.
a youngster who went off the rails.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, you don't want to know about my holidays, do you? Really? What you want to know is the answer to the next question. The next question is, what is the main pub called in Peaky Blinders where the Shelbys meet? And the answer to that question is the Garrison Tavern.
The Garrison Tavern.
There we go. I'm sure you'd know that if you watch the show, which a lot of people do. Okay, this one. Now, this one is tricky, I think. How many times has the UK hosted the Eurovision Song Contest? Now, the answer is 8.
8?
8. And there are all the dates up there. We won it 4 times and then hosted, but the other 4 times we were doing it on behalf of another country. We were hosting on behalf of another country.
That's amazing. I would have said, how many times have we won it? And I would have probably said 2. I don't know how many times. Have we won it 4 times, have we?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was Puppet on a String, wasn't there?
Yeah. Making your mind up.
Making Your Mind Up. Brotherhood of Man one, what was that called?
Save all your kisses from me.
Yeah. Cliff Richard didn't win it. He came second, didn't he?
Right. Okay.
Oh, Katrina and the Waves. Katrina and the Waves. There you go.
Yes. Very good. 8 times. I was way off. Way off.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody get that right? It's a tricky one. Okay, so you've had plenty of time to think about your drag name, Darren. So, no, nothing.
Oh yeah. No, Darina, Lady Darina. How's that?
Yeah, that's
There
good.
you go.
Dragina, says Carol Keeley.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so who was the first Drag Race superstar? And the answer is the Vivienne.
The Vivienne. No.
Yeah.
There was when I did this thing with Adam Woodyard, he had a mentor who was a drag queen, and I've forgotten her name, but really talented, like good impressions, good singing voice, like really, really, she'll be a star, I think, in her own right. Incredible. Really good performer.
And is this a stage only thing?
It was just a one-off ITV special called Queen for a Night. I think they won't. I'm not sure if they'll repeat it or not, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Very good.
Cool.
So you know the answer to this one, Darren. Who was the first breakfast show presenter on Radio 1?
I would have said Tony Blackburn.
And you would be right. The answer is Tony Blackburn.
Well, there you go. 1 out of 10's not bad, is it?
That's all right. You got Charlie Fairhead. That's 2 out of 10.
Bah.
Okay, which BBC TV show recorded the largest audience for a single episode with over 30 million viewers? The answer to that one is...
I'm going to just take a stab in the dark and say Morecambe and Wise Christmas special.
No, I can see where you're coming from. But I think it was the Happy Birthday, Ange. I think it was Happy Christmas, Ange, rather.
Oh,
I think it was that episode of EastEnders.
Right. Very
Happy
good.
Christmas, Ange. Christmas Day 1986.
Wow. Yes. In the corridor by the stairs of the Queen Vic. That'd be
Yeah.
Christmas.
I think it was that episode. I could be wrong about that. It might have been a different year, but 30 million viewers for that one, over 30 million viewers. On
Amazing.
Christmas Day 1986. Has the UK won more Eurovision more times than coming last?
Very good. Very good.
That is a good question. I have no idea. Puppet on a String. Oh, Lulu. Five winners.
And a 4-way tie in 1969.
Oh,
Wow.
I see. Yeah. I suppose the number of times we actually did it wasn't necessarily the same as the number of times we won it, because we probably did one or maybe won it at the same time.
Great.
There
All
we
the
go.
facts, all the stats you need of the RTS
Yeah.
quiz. Brilliant.
They are all there. It's good we've got a Eurovision expert on the team here, isn't it?
Absolutely. Good
Um,
stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're down to just 2 questions left. What was the name of the BBC's all-powerful computer system which ran news subtitles in the comedy W1A? And the answer to that was Syntipatico.
Wow.
Syntipatico.
Did you know that one?
No. I knew it was
No.
something ridiculous because all of the names of the systems and whatever in that and the names of the departments are ridiculous.
Okay.
So I knew it was something along those lines, but I wouldn't have been able to do it. In fact, I had to read it about 5 times before I actually tried to say it out loud.
Okay. So there you go. And then one left, and then that's the end of the 3 rounds.
It is. So that show, that US show that's so popular in the UK that the BBC paid to keep it going for 4 more years after America's NBC cancelled it, was Fame.
Oh,
And I never knew that.
Brilliant. And of course, we lost the great Irene Cara quite recently, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Fame. Thursday nights. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Wow. Good question.
It was.
Thank you so much. Listen, it's lovely to see you, Tony. Great job,
Thank
as
you.
always. Same
Thank
time
you.
next year?
Why not? Be
There
rude
you
not
go.
to, wouldn't it?
Be rude not to. Listen, thank you so much. There goes Tony Campbell, RTS East Secretary. Thank you so much. So that just about does it. Now, just in case there is a tiebreaker, and please do let me know in the comments how you got on, what your scores were for that round. I think we have a tie-breaking question. I think which should be popping up on your screen. Oh, there you go. There's
Hi,
David.
Darren.
Hello. He's there. I thought you were in the pub.
No, I'm back again until Chris replaces me.
Hey, that's it. There you.
Yes,
How did you do in those rounds? Were you all over it, or?
I did pretty well. I mean, I wrote several of them, so I should.
Okay. Good. Well, listen. Let us know how you've done in the chat box. And meanwhile, you've got a tie-break question, a bonus question.
I do indeed. It wouldn't be a BBC quiz without the man himself, Mr. Terry Wogan. So my question is, the thrice weekly Wogan TV show ran between 1982 and 1992. How many episodes were there in total? So that's how many episodes aired between 1982 and 1992 of the Terry Wogan show.
Cool. Okay. Well, you can sort of do the maths, can't you? See, my phone's turned off. Otherwise, I'd.
Of course.
Yeah. So 365 by 3 is 100. Okay, cool. And you write this one?
I didn't, unfortunately, no.
Whoever did is cruel. Cruel. So before we get the answer, let's see if you could write down and tot up your numbers, please, and put it in the chat box for us. Let us know how you did in that round 3, which was the entertainment round, and how you did overall. We'd love to see who is the RTS Quiz Champion 2022. Jane Devlin said total score 14 out of 30. We need to watch more telly. Do you know what, Jane? I
Good.
wouldn't be embarrassed with that. I think that's pretty respectable, actually. Yeah, I think in that last round I got 1, maybe 2 at a push. So there you go. Well done, Jane. 14 out of 30. What was the answer, Damien, to that last question?
So the answer is 1,131.
Right. Well, I was way off. Way off. Well, my maths is horrendous.
Mhm.
1,131. Wow, what a pro. Oh, fantastic. Listen, thank you so much. That's great. So there we've done 31 questions. And you're in London, are you? You're based in London?
I am, yes, yeah, in Ealing.
In Ealing, West London. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Lovely. Well, you have to take a mortgage for a glass of white wine. Lovely. Listen, it's lovely to see you. Thank you so much, Damien.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you very soon. So there you go. That is the Royal Television Society, the RTS Christmas Quiz 2022, celebrating 100 years of the BBC. So while we're waiting for your answers to come in and your final scores, thank you so much to our celebrity quiz masters, Chris Harvey from STV in Scotland. Fiona Thompson, there she is, made the effort. You see, this is what we love about her. She always makes the extra effort, puts us all to shame. Tony Campbell, RTS East, and Damien with the socks. There you go. There you go. Tony's socks are going to go out for a drink with Fiona's jacket, and let's just see what happens. Let nature take its course. And then Damien, RTS London. Fantastic. So thank you so much, guys. Absolute pleasure to have you. Brilliant. So Mr. Editor got 13 out of 30. Gave it a shot. Thanks for a great quiz. There you go. That's respectable, I would say. Carol Keeley, 7 out of 30. And 3 nice glasses of wine. We've been on here for an hour and 19 minutes. Lord, Carol, my word. 7 out of 30. No wonder you got 7 out of 30. But very much entertaining. Off to watch Strictly. Da, 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 da. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And William, hey, William, how are you? We missed you. I've learned that I should really stay in more. Let's just leave it at that. But you were here in spirit, so thank you so much. I've been Darren Altman, your host. Thank you so much to Philip Barnes for putting all this together, for being a whiz kid on the sounds and visuals. That was the RTS Christmas Quiz 2022, and we'll see you next year. All that remains for me to say is Merry Christmas. Speak to you soon.